Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of Rocket League Trainer. Today's episode is going to be about wall players. So what we'll do is we'll just get straight right into it. So this first one, you can see ball comes out straight along. What I want to do here is just pop it straight up the wall. Let's see if I can do it. The reason I want to do this is because sometimes you're in a position where you can't pressure the ball in time to get enough pressure, because if I hit this, I'm only going to hit that straight back at them. Not going to get any power on it whatsoever, because the arc of the ball. A way to combat that could be doing this. Pop it up, maybe air dribble away, if you know how to air dribble, or just pop it up and then flick it to the side. Just something simple like that might help you delay an attack of the other team. Also, there's a way you can pinch the ball right here. It's really hard to do, but if you can figure out the way to pinch the ball there, you can actually get a lot of distance. But what we'll do is we'll go right on to the next one. So this next one is actually jumping off the wall. Because this happens quite a lot in games where the ball is maybe floating away from the wall, and instead of waiting on the wall, a lot of players tend to actually fly off and ping it away like this. So ideally, what you're wanting to do is get a perfect hit with the front of your car when you're flipping. So you flip off, lean back, and then you basically do a front flip. And what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get that over a player that's likely already flying in to hit the ball. If you can do that, you can possibly set up a counter. If you want to be really risky, you can do what I just done there. Let's see if I can replicate it. Yeah, you can hit it straight down, and hopefully, if you've coordinated with your team what you're going to do, a player in your team who's on the goal line or in the goal area in the box will have already started to move forwards, so that when you hit the ball straight in front of him, he can just volley it and possibly get a shot on target, maybe a long shot goal, who knows. But yeah, that's kind of, either you can hit it all the way over in this corner, or ideally you can get it right over the top of them. But what you don't want to be doing is hitting it like this. But if they're in that position, you definitely do not want to be hitting it towards them, in front of them in the ground, because that's a perfect layup for a volley for them. So just be careful and make sure you know you're going to hit the ball, or you're confident you're going to hit the ball. If you're confident, then you're more likely to do it. But we'll move on to the next one now. Now this next one I really like. It's the corner wall clear. You can see the ball flies out of the corner, boom, comes central. Now what a lot of newer players will do will wait here, which is not a necessarily bad thing to do, but if there's an enemy teammate that's maybe trying to follow this ball up into the corner, what you can do is try and challenge the ball in the corner before it bounces central. It's really risky, but if you can manage to hit the ball perfectly, you can get a big clear like that. You can use the momentum and power of their shot to basically hit it back towards them, pretty much. Obviously you can also try and hit it along the wall, which is also really hard to do, but if you can hit it along the wall, you can maybe follow it. So it's just kind of really up to you what you like to do. Personally, that's probably one of my favourite ones in the pack, because it's a really risky play, but if you can make it work regularly, then it really gives your team a really good advantage. But we'll go right on to the next one now. So this next one we have is the roof angle drop. You can see the ball is going to hit off the roof and fall straight down. What we're trying to do is either intercept it in the air or try and get there on the wall in time. As you can see, this one is a really hard one to master, because it's hard to read the ball, but once you start to get a hang of it, you'll notice it does become a lot easier. And you can start to, you can move towards where it's going to bounce and then just predict it, so you can cut it off from happening. This is something that teams like Freedom Girls use really effectively. Pluto in particular, in any team, he's extremely good at using the wall for these kind of things. So this is something I think, well, I'm trying to add to my game, and it's something I think everybody can benefit from. As you can see, I've missed a ton of these, so it will take a lot of practice to be able to get used to it. But if you keep going at it, you will get used to it, so just keep going. So we'll go right on to the next one. So this next one we have is up the backboard. As you can see from the travel, the ball is hitting off the backboard again, similar to another one. This time we're facing at a different angle, and what we're trying to do here is hit the ball off to the side. Ideally try and keep it as close to the ball as possible, so that if it doesn't, because if it pops out, what's going to happen is someone in the enemy team has an opportunity to just come finish that if they're on that side. It's still a risky play having to put it in this corner, but what it does give you is the opportunity to then go for a contest in the corner. I'll try and replicate what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to hit in the corner, and then I can follow it. So I can, if there's an enemy teammate in the corner, I'm able to contest the ball and possibly win that 50-50. Or I can try and get a clear over in this kind of area, hopefully maybe chip a player or two. But that's kind of really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get it off to the side, try and keep it away from the centre, and 100% stop it from ever bouncing back out. So we'll move on to the next one. So this next one that we'll have is wall save number 1. As you can see, the ball's travelling, hits off the bar, but what we're wanting to do here is we're wanting to go up the wall, get a clear like this. Well, not like that, because that's into the ground, that's a really bad clear. Ideally, we would like to hit the ball over into the corner, like the corner we're going to be travelling towards, so that we can then pick the ball up, maybe for a dribble, or you can hit it, if you get it correctly, I'm too high right now, if you get it correctly, you can hit it up high, and try and get it up in this kind of area so it bounces out here, and then maybe have one of your teammates follow up. It's really useful because if you're confident on your walls, then you don't necessarily have to stay grounded when making a save. Because if you can use the walls to your advantage, then it does become a lot easier, as you can see. You can still get quite a lot of power. It's just a matter of practice of getting it right. And once you start to get it right, you'll notice a big difference in the amount of pressure you can withstand in defence when you can start doing these kind of plays. But what I'll do is we'll go right on the next one. So this next one is the wall save 2. It's a similar hit, although it's just a little bit higher. It's just a kind of difference in the car spawns in a different position. So basically, it's essentially the same one as wall shot 1, but just you start off in different positions. The ball starts off in a different position, and the ball is landing in a different position. Again, ideally, you can even try and wait for it to bounce, and as it's bouncing, you hit it, so you can get power, and maybe try and hit it off the lip. You hit it off the lip, try and pop it up, and then you might be able to follow it. But you can just work with it, see what you like, see if it suits you. Ideally, I'm just trying to get it in this corner, or over towards this boost. If I do that, I'd say that's a successful clear. But yeah, we'll go straight on to the next one. So this next one is the cross goal wall save. It's something that happens quite a lot in games. It was kind of hard for me to replicate this in free play. But essentially, sometimes what happens in games is you're backtracking and maybe the ball is up quite high, so maybe it's more coming into this kind of top corner area, and you're coming from this side. A lot of players like to go into the wall and try and save it like this, just extra style points I guess. So I just put this in here for people to try, but you need to be careful about your positioning and when you decide to flip, because sometimes the flip, like I jumped out and I flipped back in, and sometimes the flip back in is essential for being able to save the ball. And as you can see, I got a lot of power on that hit, which meant I could go right onto a dribble if I wanted to. So this one's just it's kind of a basic one, but I thought I'd put it in anyway because there is players out there that do like to try and save shots like that. I'm one of those people as well. I like to sometimes try and make a save on the wall. But yeah, that's us. We'll go on to the very last one now of the pack. So this very final one is related to when you're backtracking down the pitch. Sometimes maybe you get a counter attack or there's a long shot that's been hit, and you decide like it's too risky to try and make a turn. So what you do, you go up the wall with it over your goal and basically go out the other side. There's a lot of players at really high levels that have mastered the skill, and it's a really useful one to use, because if you don't have the boost to be able to turn around, you can dribble it towards your corner, and then you can pick up the boost, and then you can come. Some people come up the wall like this and do it, and some people will go like straight across their goal. I mean, either is good. The only thing about going across your goal is you need to make sure you hit the ball high, and then that you do not miss your second hit. It's crucial you don't miss your second hit, because if you miss it, then the ball is kind of floating above your goal. And obviously you can try and smash it across the other side, but the risk of smashing it across the other side of the goal is you might smack it off the roof and it'll drop straight down, or you might hit it straight outwards and not get enough height on the clear. So it's a really useful one to have in your arsenal, although it's not necessary to use all the time. It's a more situational kind of clear. But yeah, that is today's episode's done, guys. I'd like to thank everybody for the overwhelming support in the last video. It's almost reached 1,000. It's getting there within almost 2 days, which is phenomenal, I think. And we've had about 30 odd new subs, so I really appreciate it. And I really hope you like this pack, because I think this is one of the packs I'm going to be using the most out of all the packs I'll be making. It's probably going to be this one I'll use the most, because for defensive situations, being able to play on the walls is absolutely crucial. But I hope you enjoy. If there's any feedback you want to give me, put it in the comments below, and I shall see you in the next episode.